Also try and jump on Twitch to look at that.
Just one pocket.
Test, test, test. And you can speak too. Test, test, test.
I heard that.
I also want to hear your voice levels.
And you can speak too. What's going on with Twitch? Test, test. Why are you being weird?
I heard that. All right.
There we go.
Yeah, when I want to test audio, I want to hear both everybody's microphones just in case somebody's like really low. In quotes.
You mean like really low, like this?
Yes.
Like low.
Or that one time where it was like Mark was excessively low, you were excessively loud. It was very weird. Anyway, I think we're ready. What say you? Hey, look.
As ready as we're ever going to be.
Yes. All right. Let's do this thing.
Let's do this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly? I think we're just getting started.
Medic!
I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
'Twas the days before Christmas. Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 867 of the Overseas Connection podcast. It is December 21st, 2025. And look, we don't have a lot of people on the podcast today, but I'm just going to say we've got the A-team. You know?
We got the A-hole team. That's right.
Exactly. We are the A-hole team. More of that later when we talk about Arc Raiders. We are a video game podcast. If you've not seen us before, welcome. We talk about life. We talk about video games. We talk about news. Things will go sideways on us often. That's just part of life. That's the nature of the biz, right? We do this every Sunday, 8 p.m. in the UK, 12 p.m. in the West Coast, 3 p.m. in the East Coast, and 2 p.m. in the Central Time Zone. I was being nice.
Almost every Sunday.
Almost every Sunday, yes. We won't be here next Sunday. We're going to take a restful vacation day, if you will. With the New Year's coming in, the holidays, we at least give ourselves one day off, right? It's fair.
One day.
So you'll miss us,
night.
but we'll see you in the new year. We'll be back. Almost better than ever. All right. My name, Greg DeLacy, gamertag Murphy's Law, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter. Joining me today, Mr. Matthew, Christopher Matthew, dare I say, former military personnel, almost there, not quite yet, Mr. Matthew.
Almost stuck in the middle with you, Greg. That's what it is. Yeah. Hello, everybody. OC_CP Matthew on Xbox and Twitter, and they still call me Moose on Discord and Steam, and currently running around Speranza and Topside as the Spruce Moose. The Spruce Moose on those.
All right.
Hello, Greg.
Without looking, without cheating, what is your Arc Raider ID?
Oh, like the number?
I'm kidding. You don't have
No
to give
clue.
that out. Don't
No
give
clue.
that out.
I don't-
Never publicly
Yeah.
give out your ID. You're just going to get friend requests from random people that are going to send you pictures that you don't want. Kim speaks.
I already
to you.
get those.
Okay.
I already get those. I'm very popular.
Honestly, I always forget my ID. I know it does change, or you can change it, which I don't know why you would want to change it, but okay. Anyway, all
Identity
right.
theft, I guess.
I suppose we're on Twitch, we're on YouTube. So, like Boomer in the chat, he's watching live. He's gonna be Boomer's a mainstay, right? We love Boomer.
Stalwart supporter of the show.
I couldn't have said it better. But yeah, so you could join in live, hang out in the chat, take part in the Metacritic quiz. We're going to have one, even though it's just the two of us, which makes me worried that I'm going to lose badly when it's just myself against myself.
To yourself. We've seen the enemy, and it is us.
All right, so we're going to have a little bit of a change here, Chris. A little bit of a change. So here's the deal.
Change.
I did listen to last week's show. Now, okay, so two things. One, I listened to you and I fell asleep to you. Don't take that personally. It was midnight. I was listening to the podcast in bed. So you put me to sleep, which I thank you for. I do. But within my almost dreamscape-like mode, I realized birthdays are better with you saying them and talking through them. You know why? Because it's like a mini history lesson. So moving forward, I am going to be delegating birthday duties to you. I mean, you put the birthdays in there, you know these people, but you always have these little nuggets. So, who am I to stand in the way of greatness?
You're the host of the show, Greg. We do things the way you want to do it. Happy birthday to some real people. Richard Webster, Christmas Eve, baby. Makes gift giving difficult.
Still looks like he's 21.
Birthday.
By the way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. He's got such a baby face.
When you're born on Christmas Eve, only every other birthday counts or something like that. Okay. So good for him. Happy birthday, Kyle Adams, born in the time between time on December 27th. And some people you may have heard of. Happy birthday to Mace Windu, Nick Fury. The list goes on and on. I'm not drawing the name from Pulp Fiction, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Happy birthday to Samuel L. Jackson, 77 today. Happy birthday to Florence Griffith Joyner, famous American sprinter, would be 66 today, tragically died young. Happy birthday to Lord Voldemort. I dare say his name, Ralph Fiennes, turning 62 tomorrow. Happy birthday to Ricky Martin, who's turning 53, shares a birthday with Richard Webster. Still living La Vida, just a little bit less loca at 53. Happy birthday to former Canadian Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. Maybe RCGC will be along later to tell us about Justin Trudeau. And wrapping it up, happy birthday, young man, Lizan Al-Gaib himself. Happy birthday to Timothy Chalamet, turning 29 on the 27th of December. So there you go, Kyle Adams. You also have a famous birthday buddy. Happy birthday, everybody. I'm going to assume you're playing a song.
Happy birthday! It was just a little delayed. Sometimes it happens. It doesn't, it just doesn't fire off right away, and then you need to wait a minute, and the juices kick in, and it goes. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I promise I'm not going to make a lot of sexual innuendo jokes with you on the podcast.
Too late.
All right, let's talk some story time. Just talk about what's been going on in our lives.
Everyone here loves story time, our favorite time of the day.
All right, the moose with the moostis. Talk to me.
So speaking of unmet expectations, I introduced a gag last week and it never paid off. Of course, we led in with asking each other, "What up, homie?" Which was all for Greg, because during the Game Awards, and I now I've forgotten who said it, but one of the executives came out and said, "This one's for the homies," and Greg Curmudgeon DeLacy took umbrage with a man of his stature using the word homies, and so we led off with "What up, homies." Just for you, Greg. Just for you.
Even I know.
You're here.
Absolutely felt that. The right way. I mean, right away the show starts, and I'm like, oh, I see how it is.
I see. But your presence was here, even though you weren't here. So, if you stuck around that long for the gag, well, you got to respect the long game. That's all I'm saying. The other thing I did mention to you before the show, but for the people at home, I got a new phone. Pretty cool, right? Folds in half. The problem is, in the modern times, it's no longer a new phone. Who dis? It is new phone. Who am I? because we don't exist as people anymore. Your phone exists, and
Right.
your phone proves that you are you. And so when you get a new phone, suddenly you can't prove that you are you anymore, and you have to start all over. So my work accounts all authenticate to my phone.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so if that's not working, I can't get into my work accounts. And so my phone, actually, I dropped it on the way to work, and it just wouldn't power on. No cracks, no nothing, but just wouldn't power on. So I'm on my way into work. I'm like, oh crap. And I just happened to run into one of our IT people in the elevator heading into work. And I was like, hey, this just happened. And they're like, oh, I can help you. And so they were able to help me. So I was at least able to get logged into work. But then it's also my Microsoft account authenticates to my phone, my Nexus Mods account, my Ubisoft account, all these different accounts that require two-factor authentication are all tied to an authenticator app on my phone. And when you don't have that authenticator app,
Yeah.
you may as well have handed in your security badge. It's just, who are you?
Yeah, that's why
so-
I tend to default, if I can, to have two-factor authentication go via sending me a text message as opposed to going to an authenticator app, because the apps, I had the same problem with my last job when I left it. I realized the numerous things I had tied into the stupid authenticator apps that I was no longer using. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. If you plan ahead and you get a new phone and your old phone is still working and you can transfer them all over, then it's no problem. If your current phone has something catastrophic happen to it, so I'm kind of using it as a reset. I'm only re-adding things to the authenticator when I need to.
Right.
The text message, of course, is more convenient. It is a little bit less secure. It's shockingly easy to spoof a phone number and have and somebody else be receiving your texts.
Okay, Mr.
So
CIA.
it's
I'm just saying.
I mean, if like for you and I, it's probably not that big a deal. Like our net worth isn't high enough for people to really care. But when you start getting up into these high net worth individuals, it does become an issue.
All right. Well, just don't reveal defense plans in Slack, okay?
Got it.
All right.
I promise not to reveal any defense plans in Slack. Only physics notes. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So how are you liking the new phone?
I love it. I'm a big fan. I'm still getting used to, of course it has the screen on the outside too.
Right.
I'm still getting used to setting that up to have the things that I want to hand, right? Like it has this little briefing thing that it wants. Like, I don't need your briefing. I just need to know my things, right? And that can go away. It's silly to me that there's no phone widget on that screen. Like I should be able to make calls from that screen.
Oh, interesting. You
so
you can receive calls and answer them on that. It will default to speaker mode, just so you know. So if you wanted a private conversation, just know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also like the fact that you can play video through that screen.
Yep.
So like Netflix, whatever. And so traveling, one of the things I was finding odd was, well, this doesn't really have you're going to find, I'll take a step back. Because the phone is still relatively new, there doesn't seem to be a lot of good options for cases with kickstands. Because, and so when you want to watch stuff on your phone, you end up doing two things. You either will fold it and watch it this way, like I'm watching our Twitch, or this way. Then you can watch it right on that screen and hold it up, but it's a smaller screen. And going this route, it's like, well, how do I keep it upright? And my biggest thing was there are phones that have kickstands in them, but then it makes this very bulky when it's folded over.
Yeah.
And so I just decided, you know what? I will live with the consequences of not having kickstand.
Figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be as big a deal, but I am amazed at how much better the folded in half phone fits in my pocket.
Oh my God, it's amazing. You can actually sit in your car seat and not pierce your groin. You don't worry about when you go to a restaurant and you sit down in a chair thinking you're folding your phone in half. So yeah, it was a game changer for me when I did it. I was just like, I am so glad they made this, and hopefully the screen holds up. That's the one thing I still worry, but supposedly It's over 250,000 fold flips tested, so it's supposed to last a long time.
All right. I don't want to know how many folds that is per day. That's a lot.
I know.
My boss also has one. He actually sold me on it. He was showing it to me at work, folding phone. I was like, all right, I'm sold.
Yeah. So you did the 7, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I have the 6. They had so there's only 3 models of this out.
6, 7.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to do the 5, although that was much cheaper. But the screen on the front was much more limited. The 6 introduced the ability to put apps and stuff on there and be able to view through that. And then the 7, it just natively comes that way. So yeah, I had to go through a couple of hoops. And you know what? Thank you to Kim for showing me there was an app that allowed me to do that. And so I need to give her props. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? Something finale-like-ish?
Finally, so last week was finals week here on campus, which is a shockingly busy week when you're not teaching anybody. So I had, my classes were all done, and I have, because we have such a compact schedule, even though I only have 47 students, I end up having to have the final on 2 different occasions. And so, you get them in, and we're still doing it old school, pen and paper. So that takes a while to grade. So it was a shockingly busy week. But by Friday afternoon, all the grading was done. The grades were approved. The final grades were entered, and the finals are final. And that was my last week doing finals.
So you literally, that was your last week of doing like true teaching teacher like duty.
And yeah, unless I end up teaching, like I keep
for the prison.
Like maybe I'll substitute teach at the prison or teach high school physics or
it's knows, one of the same, by the way. I think.
Well, yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, for now, that was my final. My final is finally final.
All right. Final is final. So any plans for like the next, like little mini vacations, getaways?
Well, so Katie's still working full time.
Right.
So we're taking a trip to go see her parents for Christmas. Spring break, we're taking the family on a cruise. Because luckily this year, the school and the local high school spring breaks line up. They don't always.
Right.
So we're gonna take a little cruise.
Now, have you been on a cruise before?
Yeah, we love cruising.
I've never. I want to, but it's
it depends on if you can sit still. If you're a not sit still person, it could be hard for you.
Okay.
But I really enjoy it because we get on. Now we're Disney cruise people.
Okay.
So we get on the boat, and immediately the 2 boys go off to the teenagers club, and they make friends, and then we don't see them until it's time to get off the boat. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but pretty much
find a different room.
We always get 2 rooms because they're just so big now. The oldest one is taller than me, and so we get 2 rooms.
Okay.
But we schedule things that we're going to do as a family, but otherwise there's plenty for them to do that they like doing. There's a movie theater on the boat. There's the teenagers clubs. There's all kinds of things for them to do. And then there's plenty of things that Katie and I like to do. We go do beer tastings, whiskey tastings, wine tastings. We go, play trivia, whatever. And so it's just, you get a nice mix of family time and adult time. So we're big fans. We're big fans. Yeah. And as soon as you step on the boat, you don't have to make any decisions anymore, right? Like if you go on a regular, like if you just take a trip somewhere, you kind of have to be thinking about the next step all the time.
Oh yeah.
You get on a cruise ship, you're just like, all right, I'm here. And someone will bring you a drink, right? You don't even have to think about that. Someone will bring you a drink.
Okay. Yeah. So my desire is to take a cruise one of these days. It is
days.
Well, I say one of these days just because Colin presents challenges there. Special needs kids. It's not like I can be like, oh, go off, have fun. So
Yeah.
it does limit what we can end up doing in those scenarios. And then just there is a part of me that is slightly worried about just getting him on a boat. In that, is he going to get seasick? Because then that becomes an even more miserable situation. And I shouldn't say miserable situation, but yeah, you know what I mean.
It becomes more considerations.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get you. We are fortunate that we can just kind of high five our dudes and they're pretty self-sufficient. So
I mean, I could do that to Colin too. We
different-
just put him in the closet, but there is a chance that child services get called on me.
Yeah, someone might come say something to you about that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, that's it. That is nice. Anything else?
That's what's going on in our house. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, one, by the way, belated happy birthday. I completely missed that last week, and so I never got a chance to say happy birthday to you officially. So I'm doing that now. Did you do any celebrating?
We keep it pretty chill. We had we had some cupcakes, just the four
One
of us
for each year?
kind of thing. One for each year. Yeah, a lot of cupcakes, about 200 cupcakes. Yeah, we just did just kind of the four of us hanging out. We didn't do anything super crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
Watch football. We always like to watch football.
No, football was good last week. I am right now in the midst of a solo weekend. We'll talk about that in a second. Cindy went down to visit her mom. So
Right.
I put Colin into daycare so I could do the podcast. That's become my ritual. So he spends Sunday afternoon. This way I don't feel guilty neglecting my child. Yeah, last weekend, big game against the Chiefs. Kim not here I was going to be nice to Kim for the record. The Chargers beat the Chiefs last weekend. It's a very hard fought game, very cold game. It was about 20 degrees on the field, so like a -5 wind chill factor. But I will say this, I did actually feel bad, and I know that's hard to believe, but I did feel bad when Patrick Mahomes got hurt. Certainly not the way I want to win the game, but I'll take it. And so I'm on blackout right now with my Chargers playing the Cowboys. I have a feeling or fear of a letdown, but we'll see. Who knows? I'll watch that after we get off the podcast. But yeah, football has been awesome. I think it's been a really good football year. Just because there's a lot of teams that are coming up. And so you don't have, like, the Eagles are struggling. The Bills are not the same Bills. The Chiefs obviously are out of the playoffs. The Ravens are struggling. And these teams have dominated the playoff picture for the past, 5 or so years. And so it's just nice to see a crop of new teams coming up. And I'm certainly happy my team's part of that. But, the Bucs seem to, the Bucs really didn't miss too much of a step when Tom Brady left. I think he had that one season where I think Baker came right away. Did he not?
I think they had somebody in between Brady.
Yeah, it was like one season.
Baker Mayfield. Yeah,
and then Baker came, and you guys have looked good with Baker. I like Baker Mayfield. I always have.
Until the month of November, the Buccaneers have looked really bad in the month of November. I think they were almost 0 for the. So they started the season like 7-3, and now they're 7-7. If that'll tell you how their season's going.
But you guys had a ton of injuries as well. That's one of those things.
Oh yeah.
Like your entire wide receiver core at one point was, I think, completely sidelined. So.
Yes. Yeah, they ended up signing some. They ended up signing some wide receivers off of waivers just to field a team. So we'll see how they do. But they're right now the Bucs and the Panthers are playing for the division lead, and they're all tied up in the fourth quarter. So go Bucs, I guess.
Yeah. I don't have
the reason last week was bad with football was because it was the annual Army Navy Classic, and Army fell apart at the end. It was sad.
Sad times.
but we move ahead.
We do move ahead. I don't have I'm not in the podcast account, so I don't have my ability to block spam. I'm just saying, if you see that in the Twitch, anyway.
I'm trying to figure it out. Kim gave me the powers, but I'm not finding the button. This is why we need Kim here.
This is why we need Kim. Double Christmases, whatever. Mayor of Kingstown. Have you engaged in this show at all?
I have not. I've heard good things.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner is the kind of main character in it. And it was interesting because I was talking to Mark about it, and I said, in a way, you get a little bit of that Game of Thrones vibe to the show. Not, it's not fantasy or anything remotely close to that, but it's this thing of you never know who might be next. And characters that you think are stable or are a mainstay, suddenly they're not. And that happened in one of the episodes I watched from the season. I was just like, oh shit. Okay. All right. That's didn't see that coming. So a lot of that happens. And it's just good. It's really good. It's 4 seasons now. This is the 4th season. I don't know how this one's going to end. I kind of want to see them wrap it up. So this way, because some of these shows, they find success and they're like, oh, we're just going to keep it rolling. The problem is in these types of shows where it's, cops and bad guys blurring the lines, at some point it just becomes a little unrealistic. That this would not somehow boil over and everybody gets taken down type thing. And so I feel like we're at that pivotal point of this show, either, wrapping it up well and finishing strong and just being a good 4 season. And you did it well done, by the way.
Thank you.
Or they're gonna try and squeeze out another season. It's just gonna start feeling unrealistic. As is a couple plot lines within this show, and I'm trying to be very coy about what I say. They're borderline of
I'm
like,
probably never going to watch the show, so you could say whatever you want.
All right. Well, I don't want to spoil for anybody else, but I mean, there's some borderline story plot lines of like, okay, I'm not sure this would go down that way within like the legal spectrum or the legal system kind of viewpoint, but there we go. Anyway, so yeah, Mayor of Kingstown, very good. I am holding off on watching Fallout. I want to get at least 3 or 4 more episodes into it, as been being released, and then I'll start watching it. But I am very excited for the Fallout TV show, season 2. I love the first season.
I am also excited for the Fallout TV show. I also really enjoyed the first season. Got a couple of plane flights coming up here, so I'll probably watch at least the first few episodes, at least whatever episodes are available, I will watch during the upcoming plane flights. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Okay. Well, I guess that kind of wraps up for now. So let's we'll move into a community question. Favorite holiday movie? Now, I think this is going to be a bit controversial. Mine is not Die Hard.
That is controversial. It's the only right answer is Die Hard.
No, it is not. It is not the right answer. Now, it is also not Grinch. Although there have been good iterations of Grinch that have come forward outside of the cartoon. I think my favorite, and I'll say this, specifically Christmas movie, because obviously holiday movie is a little bit, you could take that in any number of holidays, right? But Christmas or winter holiday, to be fair, it's Elf. The more I watch that, I've seen that so many times now, and it has become a staple for the family.
Elf is a solid choice. Elf is a solid choice.
I do like Die Hard, and I do consider it a Christmas movie.
We've had this debate at work so many times about is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Is Die Hard not a Christmas movie? So we finally had to settle on some criteria for what is a Christmas movie, and we decided it has to take place at Christmas, or at least close to, and there has to be some sort of family values lesson in the movie, right?
Okay.
And so we decided there's a third criteria, but I forgot what it was. But we decided that Die Hard definitely meets all of those criteria.
I
Right?
would
'Cause,
love to know what the value theme was there.
well, the whole thing is because his wife is in danger, right? It's protecting your family, uh, right? It's all the whole thing is I think he set the whole thing up. It was an elaborate plot to get back with his
To get his
estranged
wife back.
that was the whole thing. And he and Gruber were in cahoots. I just made that up on the fly. That's my ADHD superpower. But yeah, that's the family value there. So I always say Die Hard just to be kind of edgy, but truly, if my favorite Christmas movie is A Christmas Story with Ralphie and his family on Cleveland Street. I just there's so many great moments in that movie, and then it all does kind of come together with kind of a wholesome ending. So it's I just really enjoy that one. Yeah,
That is good. Yeah, so we have a few responses. I think we should go through these because we think we can rate a few of these. Well, it's from Kim, I guess. Is Kim and Nicole have given responses to this. So I love holiday cartoons, Frosty the Snowman, Opus and Bill, A Wish for Wings That Work, Rudolph, etc. Let's see, any of the old 60s stop motion Rudolph and Frosty movies, absolutely. Those are stalwarts. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the 1970s stop animation, the Grinch cartoon version. Okay. I was not, for the record, I'm just going to go on record here. And, well, let me just finish this. Cartoon version, although the one with Jim Carrey is good too. There's a ton I watch religiously, but those are the top ones. I think the Grinch cartoon version, to me, it's okay. I was not beholden to it. It's like I did like the Jim Carrey one. I just don't think I like the Grinch character, and so I find it unsatisfying to watch Grinch movies. I don't feel the Christmas spirit to it, although I know there is a Christmas theme and there's definitely a Christmas spirit in theory. It just no, and this might be heightened by the fact that I see a lot of people wearing Grinch costumes at Christmas time. One of our neighbors last Christmas put on a Grinch costume, and it was frightening. It was not a pleasant Christmas vibe to his costume, and I was just like, I feel like you're going to give these kids nightmares, and maybe that's part of the charm of the Grinch. I don't know, maybe. Womble, Die Hard, Elf, Arthur Christmas. I don't know that I've seen Arthur Christmas. Simpsons, Bob Burger's Xmas special. To be fair, anything Xmas is up my street. I don't doubt that. The king of bad Christmas jokes. Any thoughts on the stop motion?
So I do think those have a place, at least in the U.S. Right? Those are kind of in the era with the era of network television being over. The ABC Sunday night movie showing Rudolph and then Frosty back to back.
Yeah,
that was just kind of a staple of American culture for so long that I think those always have a place in the zeitgeist.
What's funny, by the way?
Wish for Wings That Work.
Yeah, I don't know that. I will say this: anytime I come across one of those stop motion cartoons, so like in my channel surfing, because we have YouTube TV, so even though it's streaming, it's still technically very much like cable TV was. I just stop and watch it. I can't go past it. So, yeah. And by the way, watch Rudolph with a slightly different lens. So as I watched Rudolph more and more, one, I find myself getting angry at the very like first part of it because obviously they're very unfair to Rudolph. They make fun of him, but as I look at this as a lens through my own family, I'm like, Rudolph has a disability that he overcomes. Obviously, his red nose becomes something quite useful, but through the lens of disability and the what's the right word I'm looking for? Not bias, but there is the way he is treated, not only by surrounding friends and colleagues, coaches, teachers, whatever, but his own dad, where he looks at Rudolph as less than and wants him to be something other than what he is. But it is a disability. It was just one of those like transformative moments for me watching that cartoon, which now I get into this like rage situation whenever I watch the beginning of it. I'm all, that dad's an asshole.
Yeah. And it's an unfortunate kind of sign of the times that was made in, right?
Well, no, I don't not
I mean?
like that it was made, and I don't have an issue with what they did. It's just the way I view it now is very different.
No, what I guess what I mean is, the dad sort of pushing him to be, whatever was
Right.
very much the way things just were,
Right.
when that.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. We've improved a little bit, at least I hope.
I'd like to think so. Well, that was a far more robust conversation than I thought we were going to have around Christmas specials. But you know what?
It's a passionate topic.
Yeah. Elf, though, by the way, should win out. I don't care what you say. Die Hard is a great Christmas action movie, but in terms of pure Christmas spirit, Elf just captures it.
All right. I'll give you that.
All right. What are we doing? I think we're going to talk about video games.
I'm talking about video games.
I feel like playing computer games. Today I feel like playing computer games.
All right, we are definitely at the end of the month. I don't think there is anything we need to talk about in terms of upcoming games or games that we get to play for free because we pay for them. But we certainly could talk about what we have been playing. So I'm going to go first. Just very briefly.
You go first.
Very briefly. I tried playing The Outer Worlds 2. I tried. And I say I tried because I maybe threw it on for 5 minutes. One, I was very confused about kind of where I was within the story because it's been so long since I played it. But also, I gotta admit, Arc Raiders is spoiling the crap out of me because the visuals in Outer Worlds 2, which I look back on and I praised it when it first came out, just visually compared to Arc Raiders, I was just like, oh. And I honestly, I was like, you know what, I can't do this right now. I need to maybe play this during the daytime when I'm a little more awake, a little more frosty. But yeah, Outer Worlds 2 did not push the buttons for me. Arc Raiders did. And so I'm happy to talk about that. I think you played a little something else. What was it? No Man's Sky?
So I keep playing No Man's Sky. I check in with it almost every day, but it's the end of the year, and what they do is they rerun all of the expeditions, all of the seasons from that year, just shorter. And so this is a rerun of the expedition that introduced corvettes to the game, and corvettes is just their language for larger ships that you can build yourself. Not quite a capital ship, but also not a fighter.
Okay.
It's very much I think anyway, very much a copy of the shipbuilding system from Starfield, albeit a little, in some ways, more complicated. Like the user interface is a little more complicated, but also gives you a little bit more freedom. Starfield, I think, went for something really interesting where as you added to the ship got more weight And so if you wanted more maneuverability, you had to add more engines.
Right.
And then just to get off the ground, you had to add more launch thrusters, and you had to manage power, and you had to do all these, which is really good, really well done, I thought. No Man's Sky kind of took the same user interface, generally the same shaped modules, but they said, as long as there is power and is a landing gear, you're good to go. You don't really have to manage it too finely. So just redoing that. And then other than that, all of my gaming time has been spent with Arc Raiders. A shocking amount of time with Arc Raiders, given how shockingly bad I am at it. But it's been a lot of fun.
So, we might as well just talk about Arc Raiders. So I have the launch trailer up, but we'll talk about that plus the new update they just did. I too have been spending a shocking amount of time in Arc Raiders, and I've come to a pivotal point in my Arc Raiders career. It is, am I becoming that I don't want to say rat because I don't hang out at the gates, but I am becoming more of a shoot first, say hi second.
KOS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, God, was it Friday night? Friday night. 2 runs. Now, granted, I didn't have like a ton of equipment I was bringing in, like high quality equipment, but solo runs into the new snow maps. And you know what? I might as well transition us into those snow map video instead. Play that little update trailer. The Flickering Flames season winter event. So I find these maps to be very aggressive. It's higher loot, so you do find a lot of blueprints and good quality loot on these maps. But the bad guys, if you will, the humans, human players just they tend to be more aggressive in these maps. Just plain and simple. Like night raids, like Stellamontis, and so back to back, drops. I'll call them drops. I don't know what you would call it. Drop-ins, launches, expeditions,
drop-ups.
Yeah, I don't know. But back-to-back times, it basically ended with somebody rounding a corner and me being just friendly and they just shooting. And I was just like, really? It really, really kind of pissed me off. So then, third time, I'm out in the map. Now, in fairness, well, I was traumatized by those two. Not that I lost a ton of loot, but it was really just the fact that it happened. I was just like, it didn't even, there was no attempt at civility. It was just, this one guy I saw running, like I was in an alleyway in Buried City. I saw him actually about 100 yards behind me. I literally could have started shooting, and he saw me, and I, was backpedaling, looking at him, and just kind of turned and ran away from him. Figured no harm, no foul. Clearly not the case. He ran after me. I jumped down off of a rooftop, and I heard him, and he jumped down next to me. He jumps down. I look at him. He looks at me, and he just starts shooting. And I was just like, this is why, if we ever do have another pandemic, the toilet paper, man, I'm just telling you, it's going to be kill or be killed for toilet paper. I feel like we're evolving as a human race.
It's going to be RAM next time.
Probably.
RAM crisis.
Yeah. Anyway, so this third map, this guy appears and he's running away from me. I just start shooting him in the back.
Take that. Did you get him? Did you get him?
I killed him. And of course, as I'm coming up,
Did it make you feel good?
No, it made me feel horrible. Actually, that was the crux of it all. And of course, he's talking. He's like, "Come on, come get your free loadout. Come get your free. I don't need to hear you talking. You just come get your free loadout." And I'm just laughing. And then of course, after a couple insults were thrown at me, then I'm just like, well, you're gonna hear me talk now. I'm all, just look at the flowers. Just look at the flowers. And he said, I don't need to hear you talking. And then I knocked him out. But yeah. I will say I had a couple amazing squad play games, in particular with Jay, Mark's son. We played a bunch of sessions well into the night on his end. And we had one in particular, we were in Stellamontis, and just an incredible firefight with a team across the way from us, and then a third team coming in into the mix of the firefight. And it was like one of those things where it's like we're gonna beat them. Oh no, we're gonna die. We're gonna die. No. We tide turned, and that was the theme of the night. Numerous, and we came out of them all unscathed. So it was good.
Well done.
How about yourself?
So what's interesting, I do wonder if this. I keep hearing rumors of this behavioral based matchmaking.
Yes.
I do wonder if this is a real thing, because I have found that most people, even on the night raids and the frozen maps, generally will try to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
They'd rather not have a shootout, which is, I think, really bizarre. I wonder if the people at Embark Studios aren't just sitting back there scratching their heads like, wait a minute, what are they doing? They're not playing the game right. I don't know. I was just playing yesterday, just a regular map, and I saw this guy go running in front of me, and I let him run in front of me, and then I got on the mic and I was like, hey, running behind you, just passing. And he didn't say anything, but he also didn't attack me, so I figured we were kind of copacetic. And then he turned around and started shooting me in the back. I was like, what the crap? So I real quick ran around the building, healed up, put a trap down, healed up, just kind of waited to see if he was going to come after me, and he didn't. So
right.
So I don't know, but it was like, really, guy? Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I had so, and I've noticed this happening also. Is when you get into the extraction, the elevator shaft, and suddenly the other guy just shoots you out of the blue for no other reason than to what I have imagined, because he's not going to be able to loot you. He's not going to be able to get anything from you. Likely you're not going to die in time anyway. So all I can figure out is they just want to damage your shields a little bit to be a dick.
Yeah, they just want to break your gear.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid. I do have to an open apology. This person, the chances of them ever hearing this podcast are astronomically small. But because I don't even remember their tag, but I was running a map, and the I guess for a while there was a glitch where the blueprints were dropping at a much higher rate than they were supposed to.
Yes.
So I managed to get quite a few blueprints, and I had 2 or 3 that I already knew. And so we had just dropped in, and I was running up, and I saw this guy, and he's like, hey, don't shoot. And I was like, hey, it's cool, man. And I was like, hey, do you need these blueprints? And he stopped, and we're chatting for just a second. And while we're talking, because he's trying to see if he needs these blueprints, and neither of us is paying attention, a Rocketeer came up and blasted us both. We both died. But nobody got those blueprints. And so I hope he didn't have any good kit on him that was hard to replace, because I didn't, so I didn't feel too bad about it. But yeah, we just got obliterated.
Yeah,
and I went crawling off to die by myself because I was embarrassed.
So yeah, things like that happen, and I think I have been killed as much by people. Well, probably a little. If I'm going to like lay it out percentage wise, I'm guessing 60% of my deaths happen by other players. 40%, 100% enemy AI, and it might even be 50-50. There have been so many times where I get overconfident in my ability to deal with drones in the sky, and not realizing the ramifications of they're calling in more drones, or I'm attracting more attention than I need. And so those end badly for me often, especially the Hornets. Wasps, I feel very comfortable. I can dispatch them easy enough. The Hornets, because you really can only hit the two back fans, the front ones are shielded and armored. For that fleeting moment, you're like, oh, I can take it out easy. And then it turns right as you're like ready to shoot your shot, like that split second, and suddenly you hit the armor, nothing happens, and it just lights you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also will say the rollers, there's three different types of ground enemies that you see often inside buildings. There's the fire rollers. There's the I don't even know what they're called. The ones that just roll up on you and explode.
The
pops, yeah. And then the spiders.
Yep.
Spiders I've been seeing increasingly, and I feel like their damage is more these days. I think they may have updated the amount of damage they do. And then the rollers and the pops, I feel like they're working in conjunction better now. Like they work as a team, it's just kind of hard to put to words, but I've just noticed this kind of coordination to them where like the pops come in, and the rollers come in behind them or vice versa, but they time it just well enough. Like before you could easily like kill multiple pops by just shooting one next to the others. But now they seemingly kind of wait and send in like waves of pops at you or rollers at you, as opposed to all just charging in all at once. So we did try and take on a queen matriarch.
How'd that go?
That was pretty fun. So it was myself, Gary, and Sarah. We loaded for bear, right? We had hull crackers. Sarah, I guess, has a blueprint for hull crackers. So she made me one, gave it to me. That's the big, it fires exploding grenades.
Yep.
So we get in there, we find another team. And because it's a matriarch map, oftentimes you'll find most of the teams are going to be cooperative. So we team up, 6 of us. We head to the harvester, which the harvester, if you get inside the harvester, that's like a safe place to then attack the queen from, the matriarch, because she can't shoot into the harvester. Her weapons won't reach in there. And so there's multiple exit points on the harvester where you can kind of pop out, take a shot, and run back in. And so we were doing that. There was a team up on the hill, which annoyingly was trying to shoot at us. It's like, really? Come on. But fortunately, they didn't take anybody out. But we never took her out completely. But multiple pieces of her leg broke off. And you can loot those. And there's high value stuff in the legs, which I did not know. And so even just doing that, and then we had to sprint to get out of there because we took almost the entire time of the map trying to kill her. In fact, I left that map. I had no hull cracker ammunition left. I had no grenades left. I had 17 rounds left for my Torrenta, and that was it. And so it was pretty funny.
Yeah, that Torrente or whatever it is, that thing chews through some ammo pretty quick.
Yes, it does. I have a blueprint for it. I was excited to get it, but I think it serves a very specific purpose. And so I'm not as high on it now that I have it, as I was when I first got it. I am kind of excited to try out the patina in real life. Have a couple of patinas. I got the patina blueprint. And it's a machine gun, but it fires heavy ammo. So I did not realize that at first. I thought it fired medium ammo. But then I'm like shooting. I'm like, wait, no, these are heavy rounds. And I was like, oh, okay. This might be a little bit of a game changer. So we'll see.
Yeah. The Raiders of Reddit are not fans of the patina, but maybe, I think it got a buff in the last patch. So maybe it's better. Maybe it's better after the last patch.
Yeah.
Speaking of the last patch, have you fought one of the shredders since the most recent update? The floaty guys from Stellamontis?
Yes.
They got a significant buff during the last update, and
honestly they didn't.
No, they were scary to begin with.
Yeah.
Now they're super scary. So they increase their health, they increase the damage they deal, and they also added this. If you're targeting them, they kind of do the side strafe like a human would do.
Right.
They just kind of sit there and do this, and it's like it's so frustrating. So I just go around them. I don't even bother fighting them. Just go around.
Yeah.
Shut a door. So, put a shut door between me and thing. Apparently they don't have thumbs.
No, they do not have thumbs. Thank God.
I guess.
Nor can they have. They don't have any kind of remote control inside of them to open the doors. But you would think they probably would have. But you know what? Hey, well, actually, I'll take a step back. I always think of the shredders as being native to the Stellamontis facility, like they're part of the facility, like a facility guard, and not an arc enemy.
Okay.
And so I always just kind of assumed or would have thought, well, they would have access to be able to open any door. You know?
I have not seen one of them open a door.
No, thankfully, I agree with you, and I'm thankful to that. But in lore's perspective, if you will, I would think they would be able to, because my understanding is they're not arc enemies because you only find them there. But maybe that's going to change. I will say this: I had a very funny combat situation with a shredder. I was in Stellamontis, and I finally got to the seed vault, which I had not been to the seed vault once. Finally got there.
Big disappointment, right?
Yeah, newsflash. Lots of seeds. Yeah, totally. I'm like, where's all the good loot? What the hell? I'm just getting seeds and metal parts. That's what I got. Yep. But so I went to extract out through the shaft because I finally found that as well. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, so how do I get out of this? I'm looking and I see the fan is spinning and I'm like, well, I need to shut it off. I'm like, okay, well, there's the switch to call for the extraction. It shuts the fan down, but it takes a bit to wind down. In that room was a shredder. And I had no explosives on me. I had medium ammo, but that's not going to really do anything against a shredder. And so the thing about that room where the extraction switch is, there's like a forklift with a bunch of crates on it that's like sitting in the middle of it. Yep. I literally was running around in circles, keeping the shredder between the forklift between me and the shredder until the door opened up, and then I finally just ran through.
You just run for it. Yep.
And in the course of me running through it, I did see there was a dead raider sitting right in the entrance to the fan, so he didn't make it.
It's always so sad. Always so sad when you see the dead raiders at extraction. It's like Fallout level visual storytelling there.
Totally.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Supposedly the shredders, the way to get them is all around the map. You can find those red. It looks like a red propane tank. Apparently, you put those on the ground. And you kite the shredder so that he goes over it, and then you shoot it, and that makes a big enough explosion to hurt him pretty bad.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a few of them to actually destroy it, but
the sticky grenades do a pretty good job. I did know that 2 of the snap grenades disabled the shredder. It still can shoot at you, but once you take out 2 of its jets, it can't move anymore. So
okay.
Anyway, a lot of Arc Raider talk, but it's that good. It is that good. And it's on sale, I think, right now too. So people go out and buy this game.
On the Xbox store, it is on sale. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was already cheap.
Not currently on. Yeah. I do. It's not perfect. And
there's a couple
things that bother me.
Okay. Let's hear it.
There are some things that are very hard to find that should not be hard to find. The first one is mushrooms.
Yes.
Of all the fruits and vegetables that you have to find, and I recognize before you at me a fruit that a mushroom is not a fruit or a vegetable. It's the fruit of the fungus. The mushroom is the fruit of the fungus. It's the fruiting body of the fungus.
Wow.
But anyway, you got to go find the mushrooms, and they are stupidly hard to find. And of course, you need one for the latest whatever Festivus event is going on right now.
Do you still need mushrooms?
I need 5 more.
Okay, so you want to go to Dam Battlegrounds around
Oh, yeah, I
the
know.
wreckage? Okay.
I know where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't look for them during cold snap. I will say that.
Yes.
I just go normal map.
They also don't seem to spawn during the lightning.
Yes.
See, I thought they might be more likely during the lightning storm because of the increased value of the loot, but I didn't see any during the lightning storm either.
Yeah. Supposedly,
I know where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Supposedly they spawn in the water treatment plant, like in the hallways and stuff. I've never seen them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I found one on one pipe one time.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it, but I do. While the Christmas, whatever they're calling it, candle flame, flickering flames. While the flickering flames event, I appreciate that they're doing a seasonal event. Most games do a seasonal event. When they just start asking you for all these random items, I think it encourages hoarding in your stash, right? Like,
yeah,
I thought I was done needing all these various fruits. And they're like, oh, yeah, you need fruits for this event. And, oh, you need candle holders that you haven't bothered with in a long time. And, oh, yeah, light bulbs, which are also, they were hard to find until I learned where to look in the cars. In the hoods of the cars.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's where I found all the light bulbs that I needed was in the hoods of the cars.
Yeah. That's good to know. I will say this. A long time ago when I first started the game and I was coming across all these trinkets and I knew like the scrappy thing was there. So I knew you needed random things for, in that moment I realized, and I was like, I know at some point I'm going to need these stupid things like cat beds. I'm like, a coffee maker is the latest one I need to find now. And it's like, son of a bitch, I've sold so many coffee makers.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I've sold, like right now it's music album. I got to find music album, and there's one other for the last step.
Yeah, go to
I've sold so many of these.
Buried City apartment complex.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good spot for the albums. I need a film canister, or I did need a film canister. Thankfully, my friend Gary, who I love and hate, Gary was like, hey, I got a film canister. I'll give it to you. And so
such a nice guy.
He is. I traded him a blueprint for it.
All right.
So that's one thing I hate when you get a blueprint you already have. It's nothing worse.
Yeah.
I mean, you can sell them at that point, but I kind of like holding them and then giving them to somebody else that doesn't have them.
I have found the blueprints for the fireworks so many times. In the that's like the latest seasonal one.
I just found it. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, it's great. I do wish they would do something about, like, if you spawn in late, if I spawn in and I look up and there's 25 minutes left, 5 minutes has gone by and all the good loot is taken.
Right.
Right. And most people now, I've noticed, they run straight to the loot.
Yep.
And they run straight to extract. Like, you hear the elevators going and the match has only been going for 2 or 3 minutes. And so it's like, there's nothing left on the map. Why even spawn me in here? I guess I can walk around and collect plastic parts and metal parts and, whatever things I don't need.
Right.
So yeah, that's a little frustrating. I don't know the solution other than maybe right now they won't spawn people in when there's 15 minutes left to go before the map resets.
Right.
Maybe they should bump that up a little bit more, maybe 20 minutes, but then I don't know.
I know that frustration. I do get that. That does not bother me as much. I will say, I think one of the things they might or maybe should do is that if you're running a custom loadout, you just spawn into fresh maps. And if you're running a free loadout, then you have a higher likelihood of entering into a map that's already in progress. So there's less incentive to run free loadouts. I mean, I love the ability to run a free loadout and kind of have a little bit of that no worries vibe, but it is also kind of, you feel cheated when you realize you got killed by somebody probably running a free loadout that spawned into the map. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy that attacked me in the back that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
After I extracted, I checked, and he was damaging me with a shredder, not a shredder. What do you call the
kettle?
The SMG, the level 1 SMG.
Starts with an S.
Yeah.
Just was reading an article about it. It's a very high powered or overpowered starting weapon.
Yes. I can't remember what it's called now either, but it was a level 1. He was Stitcher. He was shooting me with a level 1 Stitcher. So he was probably running a free loadout,
Yeah.
But I don't mind. And I found that now that I've got my crafting benches all updated, and so I can craft the higher tier augments and the higher tier shields, and I've got blueprints for some of the higher tier weapons. I am more apt to run things if I know I can craft another one. So
yeah.
I've done less free loadouts now that I got all my workbenches upgraded.
No, I'm kind of with you there. There's a couple of benches I still need to upgrade all the way, but like an anvil is actually very inexpensive to create, and so I got that blueprint, and so now that I used to run a lot with a pharaoh. I know we're going kind of long in the tooth here, so we'll wrap this up. But I used to run a pharaoh.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. And now the anvil has taken place of that, and I prefer the anvil over the pharaoh. They do similar damage, but the pharaoh you can just fire off rapidly. So, anyway, all right, that's the Arc Raider talk. Mr. Matthew,
Mr. DeLacy.
We are now going to test myself and my metal against myself, possibly
and
Boomer. And
possibly Boomer.
Maybe somebody else will jump into the chat, but let's do this. Metacritic quiz happening.
Let's do
all right,
this
now
Metacritic quiz.
Get away from the windows. Now look, good. It's time for the quiz. Yeah, you know what? Oh, too bad. Tough.
All right. We are starting off our mystery-themed quiz with 2016 Dead Rising 4, and we're looking for the PC version, Greg. It's just you, so you get a little bit of time to wax philosophical while hopefully the chat decides to play along.
Oh, Boomer says he's ready. All right.
Boomer says he's ready.
Boomer and I, head-to-head, baby.
It's mano a mano. Boomer versus Greg.
So Dead Rising 4. I really liked Dead Rising 4 compared to the other Dead Rising games. I always liked the notion of Dead Rising games, but I really did not like. They had I want to say it was just a constant timer in the previous games, and I always just felt like it was just kind of this eye over your shoulder looking at you, and just added pressure of doing everything quickly. You couldn't really explore. You couldn't enjoy the environments of the Dead Rising world nearly as much as you should be able to. So Dead Rising 4, it had this timer, but it wasn't as pushed forward onto you. It was kind of in the background, and basically what would happen is you would kind of reach certain levels within the game, and the timer would push forward more. And so there was a timer, but ultimately it was not like the first games. So I liked it a lot. That being said, I think it had somewhat mixed reviews. I'm going to say 78.
You're going to say 78. Boomer said 95. The actual answer 72. So Greg out to a quick lead here. Let's see. Which order are we going to do these? We'll say that one for last. The next up in our Metacritic madness is Miles Morales Spider-Man from 2020 on the PlayStation 5. I know you're a big PlayStation fan, Greg.
Yeah, huge.
So
massive PlayStation
fan. Miles Morales Spider-Man on the PlayStation 5, released in 2020.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, wasn't this kind of like an iterative update to the original Spider-Man game? So it was like they had Spider-Man that came out, the Amazing Spider-Man for PS4, and then Miles Morales was like an update. I mean, it was a new game, but it was in a sense kind of like you could almost call it like an add-on to the original game. I could be wrong on that, but I want to say that in my head that's right.
It was a full price game, so
Yeah.
it might have been an add-on, but it was a big add-on.
Well, it was like an iterative. Maybe not add-on, an iterative step on the original Spider-Man. So it was like Spider-Man Miles Morales. I remember there's Puddlegate, I think, if I remember correctly, on that game where the puddles didn't look correct in a one still shot of a video, and it's like, okay, people, come on. Yeah, I think this still did amazingly well. I'm going to say 91.
You're going to say 91. Yeah. Boomer says 80. The actual answer, 85. So Boomer closes by 1 point. Boomer closes by 1 point in round 2. Here we go. Round 3. We're going back to 2013. Batman Arkham Origins on the Xbox 350. I've typed in the chat. No such
350.
thing. Xbox. It's the budget
It's the step
version,
down.
less
Yeah.
RAM. Yeah.
Didn't come with a hard drive.
There you go.
All right.
Xbox 360, Batman Arkham Origins from 2013.
For the 360, I'm going to say 89. I think that scored pretty high.
All right. Greg says 89. Boomer says 90. So not a lot to be gained in this round. Unfortunately, Boomer, you prices wrote Greg in the wrong direction. The actual answer is 74.
74. That's shocking because I know how much. I mean, the media supposedly love that game. I know players love that game. That's shocking. Maybe
I feel like that one was maybe the third one in the.
Oh, was it
in this series? Because it was like Arkham. It was like Arkham Asylum, and then Arkham Knight, and then Arkham Origins.
Okay.
I want to say that was the third one in the series. There,
I was thinking of the first one. So I was thinking this was okay, fair enough.
The first one was very well received.
Yeah,
it was very well received. Now I took a little bit of liberties on the rules this week, and you'll see why when everything comes together. But we're going to jump in the way back machine. We're going to jump in the way back machine all the way to the PlayStation 1 days. So get yourself in PlayStation 1 frame of mind. Second disc console, right? Dreamcast came before it. So we're in 1998 with Parasite Eve on the PlayStation 1. This is a Square Enix title. Role-playing game, sort of an action role-playing game from Final Fantasy developer Square Enix. Parasite Eve.
So I know of the game. I don't know the game. Never played it. That said, I know it's, I think, talked about pretty well in the circles of the media. I'm feeling 88.
Feeling 88. The actual Boomer said 75. The actual answer 81. So Boomer did close some ground there, but Greg still has a pretty good lead. Going into the bonus round, Greg at 34, Boomer at 50. So 16 points is quite a lead to overcome there. I think we're going to have to go ahead and give Greg the win this week, but just for funsies, what's the theme of the week? What is the theme of the week?
So the last one, Dead Rising 4, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Batman Arkham Origins, Parasite Eve. I don't know what Parasite Eve is about. And so I am gonna, and this is just a guess.
It's about a parasite.
Okay, so I was gonna say viruses is the theme. All these games deal with some kind of virus in some fashion. Because Dead Rising has the zombie virus. I don't know about Miles Morales. I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Miles Morales.
Well, then clearly I did not get it.
But and Boomer also said infection, so you both had the same idea. But if you recall, So let's go backwards.
Okay.
Parasite Eve and Batman Arkham Origins both take place entirely within the same 24 hours, that being December the 24th.
Interesting. Okay.
And Miles Morales is set in New York City
During
in
Christmas?
December.
Okay.
So you see lots of decorations, and Dead Rising 4, all about holiday shopping. So
Yep.
the theme this week is it's the most dangerous time of the year. Merry Christmas, everybody. So congratulations, Greg, on the win this week.
I will take it. Victory clap myself.
Hopefully,
Boomer was
hopefully in the
always give me a run for the money. It was that first one that really threw him off.
the first one, swung for the fences on the first one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, just a bit off.
I
so
think
there
it was I did a pump fake on him. I talked glowingly about the game and got him thinking it was like received better than it was.
Yeah, you got
or not.
Did an old Jedi mind trick. Did the old Jedi mind trick.
Yes. All right. Excellent. Thank you for that, Mr. Matthew, as always. Love the quizzes.
You are welcome.
Just a couple news stories to talk about.
Here is the fucking news.
So, first story, Epic Games founder and CEO Tim Sweeney has launched another attack on Apple, this time claiming it's the reason Fortnite has still yet to arrive on iOS in Japan. So I'm going to skip down to the kind of Apple's doing its developer updates in Japan, but Epic had previously promised that Fortnite would be coming to iOS in Japan by the end of the year as the result of an act from Apple, I believe. But now Tim Sweeney says this won't be happening, claiming that Apple has been dishonest in the way it's implemented the required changes. Sadly, Fortnite will not return to iOS in Japan in 2025 as promised. Sweeney wrote on Twitter, Apple is required to open up iOS to competing stores today, and instead of doing so, honestly, they have launched another travesty of obstruction and lawbreaking in gross disrespect to the government and people of Japan. Apple chose poorly again. So, I guess they have to operate. Let me just take a step back. I'm going to read this first part. So, Apple's announcement stated that beginning with iOS version 26.2, developers in Japan will be able to distribute apps on alternative app marketplaces, operate alternative app marketplaces, process app payments for digital goods and services outside of Apple in-app purchase in iOS, and more. So, in essence, instead of iOS opening up and allowing these developers to come in and actually be in the iOS system, they're basically saying you have to create a non-Apple storefront or marketplace. And so that's, ultimately going to be something that very few people do. Nobody wants to add marketplaces outside of the Apple marketplace to their phones. That's the way I'm reading this.
I'm reading this.
Are you
I'm reading
it
it the other way.
Okay.
I'm reading it as Apple was going to allow developers to take payments, operate other marketplaces that don't go through Apple. Because I think the whole thing is Fortnite is not on iOS because Apple demands that it goes through the Apple Store and Apple gets their cut, which is a pretty steep cut. I want to say it's like 30%.
Yes.
And so that's why Epic Games are not on iOS. And so Apple is claiming that they're going to stop doing that. But Epic's claim is that Apple has not been forthright about their implementation. At least that's the way that I read this.
No, you're probably reading it correct. I mean,
so
it's one of those weird
things. Apple is not being forthcoming about things, but
I'm not shocked by it. For the record, none of these phone makers. I mean, I'm of two minds because one, it's like, well, if I make the device, and I want to have a walled garden, I should be allowed to do that, right? On the flip side, as if benefit of the free market and being able to, have alternatives, I love the notion of, anybody and everybody can be within that app store and compete. But again, this is tough because I mean it's not super consumer friendly. But I mean, again, if I say hey, I made this phone and I have this network or operating system, and I want everything to run through my operating system, and I'm demanding a 30% cut, take it or leave it. I mean, isn't that really on the market itself to make some kind of market correction? Whether I don't know. It's a gray area.
That was my first thought, but I think the problem is Apple has worked so hard to build that wall around the garden. Once you're in that iOS ecosystem,
right,
it's hard to get out. Like
Right.
I don't have an Apple phone anymore, but I still have to do some things through Apple because my family has iPhones, right? And so it can be tough to get out of that, particularly if you've spent money. Like if you've bought
Right.
apps through the Apple store, then you no longer have access to those apps if you go to an Android phone. Whereas if you're on an Android phone, as long as you buy them through the Google store and not the Samsung store, which Samsung allows both of those stores to be on your phone.
Right.
So as long as you buy things through the Google store, you can go to any Android phone and your content is there. Right. So I think that's the difference. I think that's the difference.
No, that makes sense. I do hate, and this is, I don't know how to solve it or why, but that you cannot video call Apple to Samsung.
Yeah. Not without a third party app.
Or Apple to Android, I guess is really the way.
You have to have something third party, Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Signal, something. And the whole thing with the messages, right?
Yeah.
If you're in a text group where some people have Apple and some people have Android, and everything gets all wonky, like stop. Surely we have the technology to not behave this way.
And for the longest time, and I distinctly remember, like anybody on an Apple phone, if they liked something, it would not only say that, my sister was the queen of this. She liked every freaking picture and every statement. It was her easy way, right? Her Apple phone, she just liked it. And what would happen, it would cut and paste the entire message string and repaste it.
And it would say so-and-so liked. Yes.
And it was annoying, and finally Google actually solved this. If you now put Google Messages on your phone as opposed to the Verizon Message app, you won't get that issue anymore. So it now interfaces properly. But that was the weirdest, dumb hiccup. And it's like, how can we not figure this out? Come on. It's text messaging.
It's not that we can't figure that out. It's that we don't want to figure this out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Money.
If you don't want those annoying spam messages, just come to Apple.
That's right. Just come to Apple.
All right. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, Mr. Matthew, but I saw this news story and I thought, okay, this is worth a conversation. So Sony and Honda have announced that their upcoming Afeela 1 car will support PlayStation Remote Play. The pair will release cars under the Afeela brand, AFEELA brand, and the first production model, Afeela 1, is set to start deliveries in California in 2026. So now Sony Honda Mobility has announced the Afeela cars will offer PlayStation Remote Play via Afeela in-vehicle infotainment systems. Infotainment systems, by the way. I like that. It's no longer information system. It's infotainment system.
Yes. For a while it was infotainment. Yeah.
Yes.
And now, I guess now we've got a...
Anyway. Passengers will be able to play PlayStation 4 and PS5 games. Worth noting, PlayStation, it has been confirmed, by the way, it's PlayStation Remote Play rather than cloud streaming. So you will need a PlayStation 4 or PS5 console at your home that you can stream through to your car So that in itself, I just feel like this is going to lead to a bad experience. I mean, bad enough. I was thinking about it. Cloud play in your car, going from Wi-Fi or hotspot to hotspot or cell tower to cell tower. I can only imagine your user experience will vary. Now that you have to stream from your console remotely on your moving vehicle, because they say you can't do this whether you're parked or you're moving. But your experience may vary. I also am concerned because at one point I saw an image that showed like the front seat area of the car, and I'm like, that's just bad idea.
Yeah, that should definitely be limited to the back seat, right? If it was limited to the back seat.
Well, I know in
like,
California, you're not allowed to have a video screen on the front of your car that can play movies. So like, I had to get a workaround on. I installed a deck that had a flip up DVD player, and they're like, we can't enable this on your car. This is from the auto dealership that was putting it in for me. He said, but here's the way around it should you want to. And of course I absolutely wanted to play movies on my vehicle when I was traveling. But so it is technically illegal to do that in California. It has to be in the backseat area.
Okay.
But again, I just wonder what the experience is going to be like. Couple little side notes to add to this. Microsoft also announced in September that cars which make use of LG's WebOS automotive content platform will also be able to stream games through xCloud Gaming as long as they have an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and an automotive data plan. And this isn't the first example of cars offering built-in support for video games. In 2022, Tesla launched a native Steam app for its cars, which let users play Steam games on the car's display while the car was parked or in charging, though last year it dropped support for Steam in cars. So it's no longer being supported.
No more steam engines.
Yep, no more steam engines. What are your thoughts? Gaming on the road.
I appreciate that everyone's trying to find ways to make their niche in the automotive space. The automotive industry is changing, and we're going electric, whether we like it or not. We're going electric, and so I appreciate that people are trying to find ways to make their niche, right? Because electric is kind of miles per gallon becomes not a selling point anymore. Electric performance is limited to a very few manufacturers, and it's very expensive.
Right.
And so, yeah. And now the other thing is, it's just one more automotive feature that's going to be locked behind a paywall.
Oh, totally.
I drive a Volvo, and I love it. It drives very well. It's very reliable. But it's a minor inconvenience at best. But the remote start feature is locked behind a paywall. It's done through the My Volvo app, which I have to pay $3 a month or $4 a month to use.
Same thing,
and I
happened
don't because I'm a cheap ass.
Yeah, I'm
like, I might not buy another Volvo because they did this. If they had just left the remote start on some free version of the app,
right?
I don't need my phone to tell me where the car is and tell me when in line. Blah, 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 blah. It just is annoying. It's just very annoying to me. And so I might not buy another Volvo because of that. And I just see this as one more like buying the car, and then you have to get all these subscriptions in order to truly use all the features.
Well, yeah, and I imagine this similar to the Microsoft thing. Your car is going to need a data plan.
Yeah,
that right away is going to happen, and then you also are going to need your subscription. And I don't know how remote play on the PlayStation works. I'm assuming it's not locked behind a wall currently, but that could be another avenue for PlayStation to say, "Hey, PlayStation remote play to cars is locked behind our PlayStation Plus Premium." So,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen because there is of course the difference between remote play and their streaming,
right?
And I know the streaming is tied to the PS Plus membership. I don't know if remote play is tied to the PS Plus.
Yeah, I think currently it's not, but of course you have to have a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. So there's that.
You do have to have a console. According to Copilot, you do not need a PlayStation Plus account or membership in order to do remote play, but that's Copilot, so take it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if you ever had one of these. I remember growing up for a while, my stepdad had one of those giant conversion vans that had the TV in the top. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And we had our Nintendo Entertainment System up there in one of the little cabinets, and that was such a godsend. I'm sure for both kids and parents on road trips, because the kids are distracted. The parents don't have kids asking them, "Are we there yet?" every 30 minutes. I'm sure that was vital. So yeah, sure, why not?
I mean,
but I just hope they find some way to say the vehicle is an emotion. This can only be on the back screen.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. I also will say, I see the viability, but my big fear, it's not really a fear, but it's like, what's the actual experience going to be like? What does remote play really look like in a moving vehicle? And that, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, remote play works great. And maybe it's improved to the point that it really isn't an issue anymore. I do question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I find a lot of times even just streaming, not remote play, but streaming through Xbox Live, even just in my own house, is like, this is not great.
Yeah.
So
it's good for certain types of games, but not anything twitchy, actiony. No.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I played Arc Raiders, ironically, on my Steam Deck when I was visiting with my mom. I logged in and did the whole Xbox streaming. And it was the Steam Deck. This makes me want the Xbox. It should try at least the Xbox Ally X a little bit more. It's the configuration of the sticks and how it feels. Just doesn't feel as good as a controller, like a native controller to a console. So that in itself already felt a little off trying to play Arc Raiders. And then two, I did just sense just that little hint of lag, which was making things feel a little wonky. And it became the most intense, nerve-wracking experience ever. And I looted, I think, 5 boxes. And then I was like, I'm extracting. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Run away.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I went back to playing things that were natively downloaded on my system. So, all right. Speaking of things you could download to your system of choice, Mr. Matthew, it's a massive backlog, or massive, I should say.
It is. There's a lot of new releases coming this month. So if you're ready, buckle up. We're going to, hold on, I got to sip some water. Okay. On December 23rd, you can download Taxi Chaos 2 on your personal computer. That's a computer that's larger than a laptop, but smaller than a mainframe personal computer. If you remember your computer classes from high school, I didn't know there was a Taxi Chaos 1. So well done. And if you don't have all your Christmas shopping done yet, fear not, because on Christmas Day, you can download Preto Prisoner on the Switch to the Switch, and again on your personal computer. Some Christmas Day gaming. I have no idea what a Preto is. I do know what a prisoner is, and I'm not sure that I want to be one of those.
Well, you might want to look at it, because the slate of Christmas Day football games is no longer looking so great.
Yeah, football season is in effect over for me. So I don't want to spoil anything for you, but the Buccaneers just lost their head-to-head with the Panthers, which means they're now in second place in the division and not likely to recover from that one.
But you guys play the Panthers one more time, do you not?
I thought the Bucs already played the Panthers, which is why the Bucs were in first. The Bucs had the tiebreaker until today when they just lost to the Panthers.
Okay.
And they're now one game back with only 3 games to go. I can't add. seven,
Yep.
and they're now
3 games
7 and
left.
8. There's 2 more games. They play 17 games, right?
Yes.
And we're through 15 games. So with 2 games to go, which means they have to win both their games, and the Panthers have to lose one.
It could
So
happen.
well done, Bucks.
Yeah.
It could happen. The NFC South is somebody's got to win it. Somebody's got to win it.
So, okay, I'm going to derail us real fast with a sidebar on this standings thing. I am absolutely a fan of the NFL needs to change their seeding structure. So I think division winners, you win your division, you get a playoff spot. That is it. No guaranteed home games. I'm tired of this. The NFC South, you're likely talking about 2 teams that are right around, they're going to finish the season about 500. You don't deserve a home game playoff game. You deserve a spot in the playoffs for winning your division. I'm for that. But then once the playoff participants are established, then you go to conference record. And that establishes your seeding. That's the way it should be. It is currently not that way. It drives me crazy because you do have these, the AFC North. Pittsburgh and the Ravens are hovering around 500. And we're holding this up as some like bastion of this is like equivalent of being a number 1 seed team. You don't deserve a home game.
Well, you're not going to be a number 1 seed team. You could be a number 4 seed team.
No, but you don't deserve a home game. And that's my point. You deserve a playoff ticket. You punched your ticket by winning your division, but you don't get a home game if you suck.
Maybe it's just a really tough division. Yeah,
everybody makes that claim. Everybody makes that claim.
I'm not claiming that the NFC South is a tough division. I'm saying that somewhat facetiously. Because
but that's been the argument. That has been the argument.
Yeah,
it's like, it's a tough division.
But if it were a really tough division, they would win their non-division games, and their only losses would be division games. So
it used to be that half your games were division games, half your games were non-division games. It is now actually you play more non-division games than you play division games because the schedule has expanded. So
yeah, that's been 20 years though. I mean,
I know
it's been since at least since they went to the 32 team format. Like
there's a bunch of diehards that won't let it go.
They won't let what go.
The whole division thing. The stalwarts are like, don't make any changes. Division winner should get a home game. No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. I'm just saying. All right.
I disagree with you. I think they should.
Whatever, homie.
That's right, homie.
Hey,
Word.
Mr. Matthew, let's talk about what's coming up this week. Play dates, all that stuff. It might be a little changed because of Christmas. I'm just saying, but
so it's gonna be hit or miss. But you might find us playing Arc Raiders really any day of the week.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But we try to get together on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 in the UK, 8:30 post Meridian, that is.
Yep.
3:30 on the East Coast, 12:30 on the West Coast, and 2:30 if you are wherever Kim lives. And we try to get together again on Friday, starting at 8 p.m. in the UK, and again at 8 p.m. Central. And even though I'm going to be on the road, I will try to join you all for some games because I just got in the mail my MSI
nice
5070 Ti 32 gigabyte RAM laptop, so I can play some games on the road.
I like the MSI brand, by the way.
We'll see how it goes. This will be my first MSI computer. I've had some other MSI components in the past, and they've been reliable. So I'm excited.
Yeah. So my potato is an MSI Trident, for the record.
I feel like that's been a while since we called anything a Trident. Like,
it's been like this is like 5+ years old. Easy.
You just got to open it up and replace some pieces, and it'll be ready to go again.
Well, it's a console form factor. It's actually a very small PC. So I have it tucked underneath my desk on
you opened up and replaced some pieces. What's the big deal?
I've opened it up and I added RAM. I
All right,
will
that's
not.
good. That's
I'm
good.
not. I'm not going to open it up to change out the CPU and
Well,
the graphics
by
card.
now, if it's 5 years old, you're probably on an old chipset. You
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to replace the CPU if you wanted to. So
Exactly.
what do you know what the form factor is for the motherboard? Is it in mini ATX, ITX? Do you have any idea?
Not a
Do you
clue.
even know what those letters mean?
Isn't it letters in the alphabet?
We're happy that you're here, Greg.
This is why I like consoles. Simple, dummy proof. Who doesn't like dummy proof? All right. That all said, Mr. Matthew.
Yeah. If you would like, so before we shout each other out,
yeah,
because that's what we do, we should tell Boomer, thanks for being in the chat.
We should.
Thanks, Boomer. If anybody was ghosting in the chat today, thanks for stalking us. We any attention is good attention this time of year.
We appreciate the attempt at spam, but no thank you.
No, thank you. If you want to email us, we're at ocpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to find us on Twitter, we are at OC_podcast. We're on Podbean. And most importantly, we are in the future on Discord, the Overseas Connection Discord community. Come check us out. And I'm going to shout out Boomer one more time for being in the chat and making sure that it wasn't just Greg answering my random Metacritic questions all by himself, because that would have been something else. I'm going to shout out Greg. Welcome back. Glad you're here, because otherwise it would have been just me talking to the void, and that would have been something else. And I'm going to shout out Mrs. Moose, because it is our 25th wedding anniversary this week. So she's been putting up with my nonsense for 25 years and a little more, considering we dated for 3 years before we got married. So shout out to Katie for putting up with my nonsense.
Here.
Take us home, Greg.
Hey, congratulations to you and Katie. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, shout out to Boomer and all of our community. This is that time of year, though, also it becomes kind of dicey. People start doing traveling, that kind of thing. Our neighbors wanted, a shout out to my neighbor that wanted us to do a get together, a guys get together of all the dads on the court on Tuesday, the 23rd. He wanted to do a little beer bash at the golf course, which I was all for, except for I will be leaving for Florida at 4:30 in the morning the next day. So I did not fancy doing that. And the more I think about it, the more I'm really scared of our trip to Florida, because we are traveling on Christmas Eve, which is, I think, one of the biggest travel days out of the year outside of maybe Thanksgiving.
I think the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is the biggest. Christmas Eve might be the second. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah. Always really thought this one through. But yeah, so we'll be in Universal, Florida, having fun.
Awesome. Get some butterbeer. Enjoy it.
Absolutely. All right. Shout out to you, Mr. Matthew. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you. Our little fireside chat without fire. It's been lovely.
No fire.
Boomer. Oh my God. Yeah, pretty much. Shout out to Mark. We hope you feel better. Shout out to Kim. Don't eat too much on your double Christmases, but I do hope you get lots of presents and double the presents. You know what? I mean, double Christmas, you should get double presents. Shout out to Embark Studios. You literally have created something that is an addiction. I don't know how I'm going to stop. I was up till midnight last night contemplating, getting back on and doing another run. And I forced myself to actually watch Netflix and Prime Video as opposed to getting on there. I'm like, I can't.
Just one more. Just one more.
All right. That's it. We're done.
Might be the one.
Yeah, it might be. That's the thing. Always one. That next blueprint. All right. We're done. We're out of here. We will see you all next year. Have a great Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.